I'm trying to find the icon for sharing screen.
Have you been able to locate it? Let me just check again. Okay. Can you see it now, sir?
Yes, very well now.
Great.
You can see it, right?
The slides are not up yet. Okay, yes, they are now up. Yes, it's clear now.
Okay, so thank you so much for having me. Just by way of introduction, my name is Valentine Ozigbo. I've had experiences in not just the industries like banking, hospitality, power, oil and gas, and many more. But also I've had substantial experience in business development. And so I'm going to stop sharing and give me a moment to Okay, let me just talk through without sharing because I think I'm seeing an old slide and I don't want to waste any further time, but I'll just talk through this very quickly. I believe I have how many minutes? 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour?
We'll be happy to have you speak for the whole day, but for this one, maybe about 10.
All right. So just talking about my experience, I've had sizable number of years spent both in growing business beyond one country, one location to multiple countries, and also partnering with global players in bringing, signing management and franchise agreements within a locality like Nigeria. So when we talk about business growth, it can go either way. It could be us taking our businesses from a particular continent or city to other places, or us representing global brands in our own locality, and the nuances may be different. And so what I want to do for now is to give some synopsis of those experiences and what we did to get things right. And then I'll come to the theme of the conversation and I speak through my slides on expanding African markets and creating legendary businesses. So what we did, when I joined UBA, and we were just present in Nigeria, in Ghana, and in New York. And I was appointed head of international banking. And so there was need for us to quickly and rapidly develop the brand of UBA in multiple countries in Africa and beyond Africa. And so, and some of the issues we're going to deal with, including language barriers, we had to contend with. And so we did a lot of things, including enrolling a lot of our staff in French classes, partnering with Alliance Française, and eventually did a lot of work in that regard because we were preparing for the future. So there was need for us to do a proper SWOT analysis of particular situation at that time. And so that helped us to prepare for the future. And we did what we call PESTEL analysis to understudy each of the countries that we had in mind to do, and develop what we call hub and spoke approach, meaning if we wanted to expand to French-speaking West Africa, where do we first domicile, and then how do we begin to expand from there to others? So we then developed a master plan of what to do, and that's how we started playing by the book. Some of the strategies we adopted were also spontaneous, and not exactly by the book, because if you wanted to first go to Cote d'Ivoire before Sierra Leone, for instance, and then we have an opportunity to engage with the Sierra Leonean president, and licensing was going to be faster, we could adjust our game plan, and that's exactly what we did. So all the process of taking care of the documentation, feasibility study, seeking for approval, going to the places, making sure we partner with the right people, finding the location, and setting the operations right, building the tech base, and hiring the right staff, training them, equipping them, integrating the processes so that they're all standardized, the same DNA of what we had at the headquarters also would apply in other locations. And dealing with all that helped us to prepare and get grounded. And that's why today UPA is about 21 countries because of the work we did. And when I talked about personal analysis, I was referring to political, which includes stuff like tax consideration, trade policies, government policies, stuff that will affect and impact your business. Knowing how favorable those policies and those climates would be to your business. Very important. And as we started ranking countries along these lines, and then for E on the pestle relates to economic. I believe a lot of people I'm talking to would understand this already. So the economic is really about all the usuals, exchange rates, inflation rates, employment rate, and what have you. So those we had to deal with. Sociological is basically about the demographics, the population, lifestyle, and all of that. And then, of course, we have the technological, because, the last speaker emphasized a lot on technology. It's a very important consideration. You need to know level of awareness and all of that, preparedness, the infrastructural requirements. And then finally is the environmental. And this is also very key, the weather conditions and other factors that would impact your business. So when we did that ranking, and that's how we determined where we went to. And so that's how we prepared our ground. And so my advice to businesses that are going into expanding, looking to expand, is to make sure you tick all these boxes and prepare your ground, and obviously build to last. I will speak a bit more on governance framework, which is very key to building to last. Now, that is on one aspect where we were in Nigeria, trying to expand in other countries beyond Africa. And so what I was talking about is not just about expansions within Africa, building the rep office in France, in the UK, we also tried to do in China eventually, but we withdrew then. All of these factors came to play. Now, when I eventually moved on to join Transcorp and became the first CEO of Transcorp Hotels PLC, after the acquisition by Transcorp Group, I again faced with a number of considerations. This time, we were representing a Hilton brand and then looking to renew the management agreement, look at also expanding beyond the particular location we were, signing on new deals in Lagos, in Port Harcourt, and what have you. So that also took another level of skill set. As a matter of fact, we didn't just rely on our hunch, on our common sense. We had to hire professionals. There are people who help you to negotiate management agreements. If you don't know it, you don't know it. What you find is that every partner you have will always want to outperform, outdo, outcompete with you. And so if you give them a chance, they will do stuff to their own advantage and perhaps even to your own disadvantage. So negotiating the tenor, the fees, the conditions, the deposits, the policies, the processes are very crucial. Every single detail would matter. So the best thing we did was to go on a chase. We did like an RFP, a request for proposal, from different brands. So we had to say to Hilton, we're not tied to Hilton. We can work with Marriott, we can work with Starwood, any brand. So eventually, when proposals started coming, we were now able to benchmark and On the basis of that, even if Hilton will be our preferred partner, given that we already have developed partnership with Hilton, it was important to make sure that Hilton wasn't taking any advantage of us. And so we did all this to make sure we found ourselves in the right, environment where, we could be, very, very, happy with ourselves. And that's what we did. So these were the practical experiences I want to share. But now let me go straight to the presentation, which I have prepared for this. And I'm happy to share this eventually with the organizers, and they can pass around to every other person participating in this wonderful session. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me. It is indeed a profound honor to stand before you. I wish we were all seeing each other in Ghana, but thank God again for technology. We're able to do this from different parts of the world. I want to thank the organizers whose dedication and hard work have made this gathering possible. Obviously, your vision and commitment to fostering business excellence and growth in Africa are truly commendable. And I'm deeply, deeply grateful for the opportunity to share my thoughts on a theme that is both timely and crucial, which is about expanding of our markets and the creation of legendary businesses. I think somebody's line needs to be muted. I'm getting some noise here. Well, we are standing at the precipice of an era filled with potential and promise. We are called to be the trailblazers who will lead Africa into a new dawn of economic prosperity and innovation. Today, we are not just participants in a conference, we are a part of a movement that seeks to transform challenges into opportunities, dreams into realities, and Africa into a global powerhouse of business and enterprise. Africa, our beloved continent, is unparalleled in its richness of history, culture, and untapped potential. With over 1 billion people, we are a mosaic of diverse peoples and traditions, united by a shared heritage and a collective vision for the future. Africa is a fabric of vibrant dreams and aspirations, each thread contributing to our continent's dynamic and evolving narrative. Our markets are expanding at an unprecedented pace. Our businesses are thriving with innovation, despite the challenges we face, and entrepreneurial spirit shines brightly, unmatched by any other. The world is beginning to recognize the power and potential that Africa holds. Yet, we are acutely aware of our journey towards greatness. It's not without its trials and tribulations. We face challenges that test our resolve, from infrastructure deficits to socioeconomic hurdles, but in these challenges, we find our strength, resilience, and unwavering determination to succeed. Today, we gather here with a shared purpose to chart a course towards sustainable growth, to foster a culture of excellence, and to build businesses that will not only thrive, but will also leave a lasting legacy for generations to come. We're here to inspire and be inspired, to share our visions, to collectively pave the way for a future where Africa stands tall as a beacon of innovation, prosperity, and legendary success. Let us seize the moment, embrace our shared mission, and propel Africa towards a brighter, prosperous tomorrow. This year's mastermind theme, expansion of African markets and legendary African businesses, could not be more timely or crucial. We are at a pivotal historical moment, standing at the crossroads of profound economic transformation. This moment calls for bold vision, innovative thinking, and unwavering determination. We must harness our collective strength and wisdom to overcome the hurdles that have long hindered our progress, from financing constraints that limit our potential to infrastructure deficits that challenge our connectivity. We face numerous obstacles. Yet, these challenges are not insurmountable. They are proven grounds of our resilience and ingenuity. Here, I want to actually appreciate what development institutions are doing, Africa Development Bank and Afrexim, particularly Afrexim Bank. They've done a great lot of work, and by next week or so, we're going to be in Bahamas for the annual general meeting, and I've been part of the whole CANEX and IATF event, both from the creativity, entertainment, sports perspective to the big businesses, and how we can all trade among ourselves. And of course, the Intra-Africa Trade Fair is all about connecting Africa with economic progress. Africa, with its vast resources and youthful population, holds boundless opportunities. Our markets are ripe for expansion, brimming with untapped potential, and businesses fueled by the relentless spirit of our entrepreneurs are poised to become legends in their own right. The world is marching, is obviously watching, and we must seize this moment and transform our vision into reality. In the face of these challenges, we must adopt a mindset of innovation and adaptability. We must seek new ways to finance our ventures, build robust infrastructures, and foster an environment where businesses can thrive. This requires a commitment to excellence, a dedication to sustainable practices, and a belief in the power of our collective efforts. There are a few points to note, and I may not be different from what you've heard from other speakers. One of those points is harnessing innovation and technology. Because a lot has been said in this regard, I'll skip a lot of what I want to say in this regard. And then the next point I want to make is about building robust infrastructures. And this is not, all I'm saying here is not just from the point of view of what governments need to do, but also what the private sector participants, the companies also need to do, either for themselves or for the wider society. Robust infrastructure is a limiting factor, but it's a great opportunity. If we get it right, it will make Africa and businesses within Africa more competitive. Competitiveness is the key. If we don't compete well, you can produce anything you can, and at the end of the day, importing becomes a cheaper option, and obviously that business will ultimately die. And so we need to recognize this. The third point is about fostering entrepreneurial spirit. What one we have to realize, our greatest asset is our people. And so with the spirit, with the mindset, and where we go about things, it can actually be a differentiator for Africa. And I want to encourage businesses into investing in people and their mindset to see that education become a cornerstone of entrepreneurial development. I can go on and on about this. Because of the limited time, I'm trying to summarize all this. And the next is about promoting sustainable practices. You know, environmental stewardship and social responsibility are not just buzzwords to be casually mentioned. They are fundamental principles that must guide every decision. Our commitment to these principles will determine our legacy for future generations. And there's a whole lot to say in this regard. Again, I want to skip all of that and move to the next point. And then there's about corporate governance framework and practices. If you really want to build to last, it's about how you prepare yourselves. You know, the processes you abide by, your internal control mechanism, making sure that checks and balances, creating the DNA for your business. So that if when you go on holiday, your business doesn't go on holiday. When the owner goes sick, the business doesn't go sick. So all these are important, and the only way you can do that is where you infuse and building transparency, accountability, and integrity into what you do, so that the whole stakeholders will become confident about the future of that business. So it's about building trust through transparency. It's about accountability and integrity. It's about implementing robust practices and processes. So, and it's also about a culture of, governance and a future of governance in Africa. These are important keywords I want to mention. And then let me talk about Kaizen principle, pursuits of excellence and Kaizen. Kaizen is the Japanese buzzword for change for better. It's about, we call it Muda, Mura, Muri. These are things we have to pay attention to cut waste in our processes and raise operational efficiency. And it's about challenging the status quo, making sure that we continuously improve anytime, any day, and anywhere. I'm a global Kaizen champion. I'm happy to say this because it's been one game changer when I was in the corporate world. And I want to advise anybody, no matter your businesses, go and read about this and enroll in proper, skill development in this regard. You will see the magic Kaizen can bring to your businesses. And with all this, I would say that if we pay attention to all this and then take care of our own personal issues, personal responsibilities, our own timeliness, order, discipline, and pursuit of excellence, we can create a better reality for ourselves. Personal responsibility is empowering. It liberates us from the mindset of victimhood and places the reins of our future family in our hands. Consider remarkable stories of individuals across Africa who have embraced personal responsibility and transformed their lives And these are the people who, despite facing immense challenges, refused to be defined by their circumstances. They took charge of their destinies, made courageous decisions, and persevered against all odds. Their journeys are not only inspiring, but also serve as a powerful reminder that we too have the power to change our narratives. I can go on listing a lot of examples. Again, we don't have all the time. Let's understand that we have a lot of power within us. We have the extraordinary ability to create our own reality. Our future is not predetermined. It is shaped by our actions, our attitudes, and our resolve. By believing in our capacity to influence our destiny, we unlock a wellspring of potential within ourselves. You have the power to envision a future that aligns with your highest aspirations and to take the steps necessary to bring that vision into life. The power is not just about grand gestures. It is found in the everyday decisions we make, the habits we cultivate, and the resilience we demonstrate. Hard work, determination, and a positive mindset are the cornerstone of this journey. There are many case studies I would have liked to refer to. Legendary African business. I can tell you about Dangote, how it started in 1977. I can tell you MTN, how it started in 1994 in South Africa. I can tell you about Ethiopian Airlines, founded in 1945. All these humongous businesses, but also even within our own environment, local environment, you will find businesses that are inspirational. Therefore, I stand before you with a heartfelt call to action. Each of you here possesses the potential to be the change makers, the visionaries, the trailblazers that our beloved continent so desperately needs. And you are the catalysts for transformation, the architects of our collective future, and the bearers of a legacy that will shape generations to come. Let's not merely aim for incremental improvements, but dare to dream big, envisioning an Africa where our businesses are not only competitive, but also exemplary on the global stage. We must push the boundaries of what is possible, innovate beyond the conventional, and strive for excellence in every endeavor. Let's forge partnerships because partnerships are the lifeblood of progress. By working together, we can leverage our diverse strengths, share our resources, and multiply our impact. Let's share knowledge. Knowledge is the greatest asset we can share. The exchange of ideas, experiences, and expertise is vital, which is why we are having this type of session. So thank you so much, the organizers. Let us also keep inspiring others, inspiring ourselves. Inspiration is a spark that ignites change. We can inspire a collective movement towards greatness by sharing our stories, celebrating our achievements, and supporting each other through the highs and lows. Let us be the champions of every other's successes, the mentors who guide the next generation, and the voices that uplift and motivate. Together, we can create an environment where ambition is nurtured, innovation is celebrated, and excellence is known. And let us transform our challenges into opportunities. I want to thank you all. May we all continue to strive for excellence and make a lasting impact on our continent and the world. Long live Africa. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See, the claps are already coming. Thank you so much. Sir, you will agree with me that we need more than one day for the agenda that we want to unfold. More so, I nursed a secret agenda to teach you a new dance step in Ghana, which we weren't able to do. But we look forward to once we get to Ghana. We've told Ghana to prepare for you adequately. We want all the businesses that can benefit from this wealth of experience, this strength, and this achievement role. Because if we can transfer this knowledge into fledgling businesses or mid-term businesses, we'll have more global players from the African continent. So I want to thank you very much. I know you went briskly through the speech, but I got all the brisk information that is required to move our businesses forward. We'll be coming for more. Thank you for the time that you've given us. And then during the breakout session, certain individuals will be joining you in the room. And what we want to do now is we have some franchises in the UAE because the UAE, I'm told, are picking up on the franchise module. In fact, Michael is helping African businesses now develop. And in his stats, he shared with me that only 6% of franchises around the world come from Africa, and he wants to help change that. So I'm going to be introducing Michael, and I'm very happy for you to join the conversation.